Go for it.
Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. This from the ground.
Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome to another ep of History is Dank. Dude, I'm your host, Strider Wilson. Dude, we got Aaron going beast mode on the sticks. Dude, what up, Aaron? Dude?
What up?
Dude, I'm freaking posted up right now, dude. Freaking, we're just chilling. It's April. And you know where I was today? I was at the car dealership earlier today. Just getting my car serviced, a little routine maintenance, making sure I'm staying in my warranty. What up? If you're driving around listening to that pod, take a look at your odometer. Take a look in the upper left. Last time you got serviced, they usually put a sticker on there, let you know, hey, come back in, get lubed up. And when I went to the cashier there at the Toyota dealership, what up? I think we might have to do a thank call to Toyota later because they did a good job. But this is not about that. This is about the lady at the register who, look, I'm a married man. She's an attractive lady, okay? Her desk, everything on it was Halloween themed. It's April. She had a little spiderweb mouse pad. She had a Jack Skellington tattoo. She had, was wearing a hoodie that was black. It said Toyota, so it was branded hoodie. The other dude that wasn't into Halloween was also wearing that hoodie, but also had pumpkin stuff and ghost stuffs on her computer that she prints stuff from. You know what I mean? The button where she prints up my dealership invoice for the service that day, which I'm under full warranty. It was $0. Thank you very much. Always buy the extended warranty. What up, dude? If you take anything from this pod, take that. Get the extended warranty when you purchase, and you can negotiate that. Get it. But still, prints up the paperwork to let me know, multi-point inspection, tire rotation, all that, whatever stuff they did. Has a little freaking, clicks as a little Skellington on there. And I thought about it. Halloween's the only acceptable holiday to have up year round. If that lady, and I was talking about this with my brother on the phone on the way here, if that lady had Christmas stuff up year round, you'd be like, this person needs therapy. And other employees would be like, dude, put the Santa away. Or like even Christmas lights around the frame of the computer. Bro, it's April. Get over it. It's the only holiday. But also, I go, I said, then I want to think more about it. I go, look, we can't choose what we like. You know what I mean? You're just kind of born liking stuff, I guess. That's just in her personality to like that. Can't blame that. I guess Christmas too. I don't know. I guess if you liked St. Patrick's Day a lot, it'd be okay to go get day drunk all the time. Just be pouring yourself a Guinness at work, checking people out of their auto. But look, I don't drive the car, so I just ring up the invoices. I'm having a freaking black and tan right here on the job, though. I'm just in to St. Patrick's Day, Craig. That's what you tell your boss. Or I guess that just means you're Irish. I don't know. If you're into April Fools a lot, you're just annoying. Halloween's the only acceptable. If you're into Easter, wearing pastels a lot, that's a stylish gay man. That's fine, I guess. I guess Easter too, stylish gay. And then if you're into Halloween, it's like goth. It's decaf goth, I suppose. I don't know.
I was at Disneyland and saw some goths, and it's just so funny to see them out. I
talk about that in my special. 85. Goths love Disneyland.
It's 80 degrees, and you're in the sun the entire time.
It's the only place they go during the day is Disneyland. Otherwise, they're inside. Goths love Disneyland, dude. It's a great observation, Aaron.
It was.
Yeah, if you're goth,
it was in line for the Haunted Mansion, I think.
Goths basically are loving. That's they gotta go. Haunted Mansion's so fun, dude. Haunted Mansion's like Christmas for goth, dude. Imagine if it was just people wearing Christmas outfits, dressed like nutcrackers or elves year round. That's pretty much what goths are doing. They're dressing like ghosts and ghouls and Jack Skellington year round.
Mm-hmm. The Crow.
The Crow. Yeah, you're dressed like the Crow, but we're all like, that's fine. But if you do that for Christmas, you're like, what are you doing? Stop. Can't have a Santa in April. You weirdo. You You want kids to sit on your lap? I guess, people who are into liking Halloween and dudes who want kids to sit in their laps year round are born liking that. We can't blame them. All right, baby, let's get into our first segment. I'm thinking. It's our first segment. And we played this once before. I want to try it again. I want to learn a little bit about some historical figures, some perspective, some people. Aaron, just give me a first name. Any first name that pops into your head right now. Male, female, doesn't matter. Just make sure it's not like River.
Sarah.
I love it. Great. Now what I'm going to do in real time, I'm going to type in. That was a weird noise I just made. I leaned over and just made a noise like like my wife was drilling me. Let me go on here. That's the noise I make when I use the internet. That's how bad I am at using. When you call the internet, does Gen X even say the internet, dude? What do they say, dude?
I don't
Online?
know.
Is it cooler to say, is it more right now to say online? I don't know. What up, dude? All right, bro. Here we go. What's the first one that pops into your mind? I cheated a little bit here, but what I will honestly say, the first one that popped in my mind was Sarah from the Bible. And I don't really know what she did. Was that like David's wife?
I don't know either.
I know Bathsheba, which is where we get the term bath from, I think, is a smoke show that was bathing. And King David was like, what up? You got Sarah Jessica Parker from Hocus Pocus. Speaking of goth, she's a witch.
Yeah.
You got
one of the only times I find her attractive.
Yeah, JT says that was his sexual awakening. I had a huge crush. My first, quote, celebrity crush was on the girl in that movie. I forget that actress's name, like Max's love interest or whatever. I forget her name, but she's smoke. You got Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
These are more famous people.
Sarah Paulson.
You got Sarah Good. She was executed in the witch trial, speaking of witches.
Whoops.
Sarah Paulson. Who's Sarah Paulson?
She just won an Emmy for playing Marcia Clark in the OJ series. She's a Ryan Murphy's muse, basically,
Nice.
on television. Great actress.
Sarah Palin. Remember her?
Yeah.
I can see Russia from my backyard.
I'm a hockey mom. I should be president.
I love it, dude. Honestly, I would take her right now. Give us Palin, dude.
I'm shocked she's not in the admin.
Bro, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah's kind of a goth name.
Can be.
Sarah was the wife of Abraham.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going way back.
Mm-hmm. Considered the mother of the Hebrew people. Father Abraham, mother Sarah. Nice.
Daughter Judy.
Is that
The Jetsons.
the Jetsons? I was gonna say, is that what's the other one? There was a family. The Bradys.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough on Sarah. I'm wondering if I'm missing any big one here.
Historical Sarahs. There's got to be.
I Googled it. Google's stupid as fuck, dude. Watch this. Historical Sarahs is a better search than mine. Yeah, honestly, my number one that I thought of is the number one that shows up. There's another one that says Sarah Palin. Let me see.
The mother of Thanksgiving. Sarah Joseph.
Sarah Bareilles, legit. I'm not gonna write you a love song 'cause you want me to.
Sarah Josepha Hale, the mother of Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
American writer, activist, and editor of the largest magazine before the Civil War.
Whoa. That's a beast right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That knowledge gets me fired up. What's her name? Sarah what?
Sarah Josepha Hale.
Sarah Josepha Hale. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. For our second segment today, thank you. What up to Sarah's out there? Also, what up to my boy Luke, crushing a Jimmy John's in the parking lot, dude? Get yourself a pickle, dude. What up? Little hometown history. You might be telling yourself, Strider, you don't have a guest on today. I'm checking the title of the episode. Wait, who's the guest? He hasn't introduced a guest right now. What's going on? I'm loving trivia, and I'm in the mood for it. So what I did is for our historical topic today, the Donner Party, which if you went to 4th grade in California, you know about this. If you played a little game called Oregon Trail, or if you've listened to the history as Dank on Oregon Trail, you've heard about this. Today we're going to kind of dive into it. Because people like the series Yellow Jackets, where people eat people. So we're going to talk about a story that...
I don't know if they like that part of it, but yeah.
They love that part of it.
Oh, shit.
This girl at the Toyota dealership today, she loved it, dude.
To many of them,
loves that
to many
show,
of them,
dude.
it is akin to Top Chef.
Yeah.
It's a cooking show.
Yeah. That's what they liked. Somehow they're intrigued by it. No. I'm playing a little hometown trivia based on the hometown of the Donner Party, which was Springfield, Illinois. So those listening along.
Home of the Simpsons.
Yep. Is it actually Springfield, Illinois, though? Or is it supposed to be like...
It's supposed to be.
Also, and for our first question, which Aaron, I think you're going to get right. Those listening, play along. I can't play along because I have the answers in front of me. Although I did know this one off the top of my dome. Springfield, Illinois is birthplace to which U.S. president?
Lincoln.
Dank. Bonus question. What number president was he?
16.
Dank. Other bonus question. How tall was he?
6'4".
Correct. Dank. Other bonus question. What sport did he thrive in as a young man? And I want to say maybe in
College.
Maybe in college or high school, whatever. Probably college.
300 now. Wrestling.
Yes.
He's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yep. He's a fucking wrestler, bro. He's a smart dude, progressive thinker, and good wrestler. That's who I want to be. He would pin my ass.
Yeah.
Be honored to get pinned by Honest Abe.
You know who the tallest presidents have ever been?
LBJ?
LBJ.
Yeah. LBJ. He also had a huge hog, they say, and he'd pull it out.
Yeah.
They say he'd like to pull his penis out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all there is about Springfield, Illinois, by the way. So let's move on from that. I had to just go Lincoln focused, but then I was itching for more, so I go, okay. Let's start this little journey right now.
It is the capital of Illinois.
It is also the capital. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. The Donner Party leaves Springfield, Illinois. They link up in like Missouri at a fort or whatever. They link up with like a big wagon train and then start heading on towards their trail. And we'll get into where things go wrong. But famously, they pass through this desert, which is the largest desert in the United States. Can you name it? And I'm going to give you a hint here. When we talk about this, it gets really, really hot here, but it's also known more so for being unbelievably cold. That's a hint. And it's not like the blank desert.
Yeah.
It's called, their desert isn't in the name of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think based on their route to where they would go.
It is a the. Also, spoiler alert, the Oregon Trail route, which they should have been on, doesn't go through this. But there's some schmoll idiot who told them to take a shortcut, and it put them on this route and eventually resulted in their demise.
Their demise.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was the Great Salt Lake would somehow be a desert.
Okay, bro, you're very close. Yes.
Yeah.
They go past the Salt Lakes. It's called the Great Basin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. It covers an expanse of about 190,000 square miles. Sierra Nevadas, it's bordered by the Nevadas, the Rockies, Columbia Plateau to the north. And then it has more deserts, but different deserts, Mojave and Sonoran to the south. Okay. Then this just had me interested in wagon trains
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm nutty for trivia today.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between an ox and a bull? This sounds like a joke. Sounds like I'm setting you up for a joke.
No.
The answer is silly.
Has they been castrated?
Correct. It's a
No.
penis.
Yeah.
An ox has no dick. A bull has a dick.
No dick?
Or balls.
No. Yeah, balls. Right?
Sorry.
We're
No balls. They got no balls. They still have a dick.
We're not. Yeah. Come on. We're not savages.
We're not going to take these guys' dicks. Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
And an ox, commonly referred to as steer in the Oregon Trail game. Just a working male cow,
Yeah.
bovine, if you will. The Conestoga wagon, famously used to pioneer the western part of the United States, was commonly referred to as what by those traveling along the Oregon Trail. And generally, they would use a somewhat slimmer, slightly more mobile and easier, more navigable version of it, but it was called a what? It's two names, and my hint is one of the name. There's two words. Sorry, for the Conestoga wagon, and your hint is it's nautical. Nautical.
Yeah, I don't know.
Prairie schooner.
Okay. Yeah, I would not have.
It's a tough one. That's why it was the last question.
I was trying to think if there was something in the deep recesses of my head, but no.
That was a tough one. They could hold between 15 and 2,500 pounds. About the size of the ox that was pulling them. Pound for pound, strong animal.
So you could get in there and sleep at night.
Yeah. And they would say they would try to make them, you'd have to ford a river. They would try to, put a little tar or something on there and make them as impermeable as possible. So the Donner Party. This was also suggested to me by a bro emailed me. Let me see. What's his name? This dude, Matthew Golden. Shout out. Matthew Golden. If you're at Jimmy John's, you get yourself a pickle. So it's called the Donner Party, named after the family and leader of this group traveling to California from Springfield, Illinois in 1846, late 1846, a little too late, 1846. Actually, not really. They left in April, right on time. They travel, they link up, they go through the Midwest, link up in like Missouri, whatever, get all the supplies. And then from there, head out along the Oregon Trail out to California. Only thing is, there's this schmoll. And his name is Hastings. Lansford Hastings. Okay? This schmoll tells them, and famously it's something called the Hastings Cutoff. And this guy, all he was doing was slinging a book. He goes, hey, bro, I've got a book on how to travel west, all the supplies you need, what you're going to experience, how to be safe. Read this book. Inform yourself before you head out west. Also, just so you know, a lot of people are going on the Oregon Trail, which cool, it'll get you there. But if you want to save yourself some time, take the Hastings Cutoff. This guy had never taken his own cutoff. And based on later research, it's 300 miles longer.
Jesus.
He said it would save you like 2 weeks. The guy's unreal. The guy is unreal. He should go to jail.
Yeah.
Granted, it's too late to prosecute.
Well, there should be like a term for what he like
getting Munsoned.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Lansford.
Yeah.
Hastings. You got Hastings. They say haste makes waste. This guy's Hastings. This guy sucks. Total moron. They say George Donner. He's sitting there. He's going to be the party leader. He's elected as the party leader, so he's the Donner Party. It's got some 87 people, 29 men, 15 women, 43 children. All right, column of 23 ox-drawn prairie schooners, and there's a dude coming back. They say there's an account where Hastings is telling him, hey, take the cutoff. And another guy's coming back and he's like, talks to George. This is all in an account written by, there's the one guy who started writing an account, a first person account. He ended up dying up there, but it's where we get a lot of the information from. But he's like, he told him not to take the cutoff. He goes, yeah, dude, just stick to the trail. You're fine. Like, don't rush it. Don't overthink it. But George Donner, for some reason, was like, I want to save some time. I don't know, I want to get out there first or whatever and get better land than these other columns that are going. So screw it. I'm taking the cutoff.
I assume they were trying to beat the weather or something.
And that's true too. You're always in a race against the weather. You could always get screwed by a late winter storm. But by the time they're doing this, or excuse me, it'd be like an early winter storm by the time they're up there.
Yeah.
Because they're going across the Great Basin in the middle of fucking July, early August, late July. Unbelievably hot. They were losing cattle. Hastings told them it would cut off 125 miles. It actually added 300. Those are the exact numbers. Guy's a schmoll. They were leaving.
You got Hastings, bro.
Yeah, dude, you got totally Hastings, dude. Totally. Next time we do Help Hurt Bone, I'm bringing up Hastings on there. They end up losing about 2 weeks, Aaron. So besides losing oxen, having to abandon some cattle, chasing lost oxen in dust storms, costing them days to then get resettled.
This Hastings guy was probably a wagon dealer.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, this guy, he was trying to write a book. He was trying to sling his book. And he probably was going to be like, hey, George, when you get over there, I bet this happened, was like, hey, I'll give you some, you'll get some money. You can give me a first person account. You can let them know that you got over there first and it was the best.
Yeah.
You know, some bullshit.
Leave a good review on TripAdvisor.
Yeah, dude, Yelp me, bro, on the Oregon Trail. Hit me up, Hastings on Yelp. Things are so bad. They're so behind schedule. It's so stressful and awful that when they get to the base and they relink up with the Oregon Trail 2 weeks later than they should have, a fight breaks out among George and
several divorces.
Oh, yeah, tons of divorces, dude. Kids are sad. Every kid just making that forlorn face of just 1,000-yard stare. Also, you get picked off by Native Americans. A few oxen get killed before they even start going up the mountain. And there's this guy Reed in the party. On October 5th, apparently, he's a teamster. They have like these maybe got like hired hand guys that help him on the journey. He flips out, and it ends with Reed fatally stabbing a dude. George finally has to come over and like break someone's collarbone. I think he breaks Reed's collarbone with a fucking punch. He's a pretty badass dude to get him to settle in, but some dude just murders a dude. He's so frustrated. Maybe the first instance of road rage, trail rage.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Some members suggest that Reed get hanged, but instead he's banished from the company. He would continue west on horseback while the rest of his family remained with the Donner Party.
Whoops.
So, big time whoops. It's Paiute warriors that end up killing some oxen at this point. So basically at this point, the Donner Party is fucked. They're out in the wilderness. There's seemingly hostile natives that will take your supplies. They're 2 weeks behind. Someone just murdered someone. They've lost a ton of oxen. And at this point, they just have to ditch a ton of their stuff and take everything that they can. That's basically survival essential. So they get as much resources as they can. They bring a few wagons, whatever, a few oxen, and start making their way up the Sierra Nevadas and get to what is now called Donner Pass, and it's blocked by snow. So then they get fucked by the elements. If there was no huge storm, they could have gotten lucky. Maybe they make it. Probably a few more people. You know, it's an arduous journey, but definitely wouldn't have been as bad as it is, but they get packed in by a snowstorm. This is October. So this is kind of an early snowstorm.
Yeah. They need to convert their wagons to snowboards. Get out of there.
That's exactly what they should have done, bro. Shred those things, bro. Yeah. Hastings, that's probably what fucking dude, just turn Hastings into a snowboard, dude. This guy, dude, butter him up. Freaking go down on Hastings, totally nectar.
Yeah. We didn't eat grandma. We turned her into a snowboard.
Yeah, dude, that's really what they did. There's actually no archaeological evidence of any cannibalism. But experts say that really doesn't matter because there's tons of first-person accounts and some rescue parties that went up there, and everyone was like, this happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, also, they kind of committed the perfect crime. They ate the evidence, right?
Yeah. It's not, those aren't cuts, people taking the meat off. Those are shred burns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shred burns on grandma.
Yeah, they got shred burns on Hastings, dude. That was from when I freaking did a gnarly 540, dude. Fucking stuck it, dude, and kept cruising.
Yeah. Just carving down the mountain, riding on grandma.
Did a nose slide on Hastings' nose. You're carving up on G-Ma, dude. Dude, she's an old board, but I'm telling you right now, dude. Grandma's stiff as a board, dude, so she's going to be the best for riding.
What was your last?
Grandma's kind of horny, always talking about getting ridden, so it's kind of, maybe this is her last wish.
What was your grandma's last name? Burton?
Hell yeah. If you don't get that, you got to start boarding, dude. You got to figure it out. Now, there's a terrible movie in 2009 called The Donner Party. I didn't even know it existed. I looked it up. I don't even know one actor in this movie. The director there's a quote from the director. Oh, no, this is actually from someone watching it. Was like, I was so bored watching this movie, and there was so little payoff. And he goes, I knew it was going to be one of either two bad movies, like something that glorifies, like pull your bootstraps up, like in a great American story, or a pretty cool, like arduous survival story. And the guy's review was like, I got nothing. It's like, I got neither of it. And he goes, with all the first hand historical accounts of drama, stabbings, all the things that happen along the trail, this guy Hastings, none of those characters are in the story. Just the story picks up when they're already trapped in the snow and then follows these survivors trying to get out, which is a pretty crazy story. It's like 8 people. They're like, fuck it. We're going to go light. We're going to try to get down the Sacramento Valley. We're going to try to send a rescue team for you guys. Only 2 of those people survive getting out, and they do actually bring back a rescue team, which is a pretty amazing story. But like, you skipped a lot and could have had a way better movie.
You know one actor from this movie.
Who?
Crispin Glover. George McFly.
Oh, dude, yeah. He's probably George Donner.
He is William Foster. Okay,
he's probably the dude that had led up that group of 8 that made it to Sacramento Valley.
It seems like they didn't use real names.
Mm.
Is this the guy from Leverage is in this thing? Yeah, the guy from Leverage with the long hair. Yeah, there's some name actors in here.
Yeah.
Or that guy's. Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I remember like looking at one dude's picture. I'm like, oh, there's a dude from Sons of Anarchy in this. Sweet. These guys get to Fort Sutter, Sacramento on January 31st, 1847. Historically, they get a crew of dudes, 7 dudes come back, a rescue team now. These are new people, rescue people. They reach the lake camp on February 18th. So January 31st to February 18th, they're in the dead of winter. And they see 23, remember there was 87 in the original group. People starving, just kids, just really sad. They try to take them out. It's impossible to move everyone. And there were a few survivors. But yeah, man, like 80% of that party didn't make it out.
This is pre-Gold Rush, too.
This is 1846. This is before. And Hastings was trying to just capitalize on the Oregon and California marketplace, baby. He knew. I bet you still slung some books. But yeah, this was pre-Gold Rush. Just classic.
Like they're going to Sutter's Fort. It's where they find gold. Sutter's Mill. There's
a lady that writes her friend. She passed, but they found her diary, and she was writing, and she was saying like, still like, hey, and it's like in old timey English. She's like, don't let this Hastings. It sounded too close to Hastings, but basically she used a word like deter you, but like an old timey deter word. From making the trip to California. So basically it must have been like, dude, Springfield, Illinois must have sucked so bad. Must have been such a fat bummer. Maybe all these people in the Donner Party got pinned by Lincoln at this time. He was probably there pinning people at this time, or going to whatever college he went to. Did Lincoln go to Harvard or Yale or some shit? Probably.
No. I think he went in the Midwest.
Maybe Northwestern if it was around then. Anyway, all I'm saying is Lincoln was pinning George Donner, and he's like, we got to get as far away from this guy as possible. So they had to leave. Point being, though, it was just about, this is a story of, rather than a warning story, but just maybe more sort of a story of the fact that people kept coming and gold gets discovered, of just being like people seeking opportunity, and what California and America meant to people in the land of opportunity, and what they would forgo. And then her letter said, don't let this keep you from coming out here. And then she did say in her letter, but don't go taking any cutoffs. She did say that. She goes, don't go taking any short cutoffs. Just fucking stick to the trail, dude. Kind of wild. So, Hastings is a schmoll. Hastings is a huge schmoll. I remember studying the Donner Party in 4th grade, being like, whoa, that's gnarly. All right, before we get out of here, should we just do a thank call?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see.
I don't know. It says Lincoln was largely self-educated.
What a beast.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, could you hear my... Did you hear that?
I'll turn it up, yeah.
All right, dude. Want to thank Call Toyota. Had a fire experience in their Keys Lounge.
For
while getting
quality of service, this call may be monitored or recorded.
Dude.
Visit privacy.oramore.net to
This
view
call's
a
been
copy of our
recorded by
privacy
History's
policy and
Dank,
notice of
dude.
collection.
What up?
Thank you for calling Toyota of Glendale. For quality of service, this call may be monitored or recorded. Visit privacy.oramore.net to view a copy of our privacy policy and notice of collection.
Cool. Let's go, dude.
Hi, thank you for calling Toyota of Glendale. How may I direct your call?
What up? I just want to give a shout out. I was at services earlier, service department, and I just want to thank you guys for being super legit and having a sweet lounge area where I was kicking it. Super good Wi-Fi. Dank coffee, dude. The Nespresso was on point. Made myself a triple Americano. And I even climbed in the back of one of your guys' Sequoias and took a nice little nap in there. And so it was legit. It was roomy. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. Just thank you guys for being legit. And the car's running smooth now.
Oh, wow. I'm so happy that you had a great experience. I can definitely let a manager know. But we also have a Yelp if you wanted to go ahead and share that experience on there.
For sure, dude. I'll put it up on Yelp for sure. Hook it up. I want to say my service advisor's name was, I think he texted me, which is legit too. Made me feel good to get a text, you know what I mean? When that ding goes off, everyone in the Keys Lounge looking at me being like, this guy's popular. I was getting my dude, Jose, legit.
Jose was your service advisor?
He was legit, chill dude. Younger guy. So he was super chill.
I'm glad that you had a great experience.
Thank you. Fired up.
Yeah, of course. I'll make sure to let a manager know.
Fired up, and I'm going to be telling all my friends, let's go places.
Okay. That's great.
Tight.
Okay, thank you.
Lit. Dude, that's what's up. You know what I mean, dude? Fat shout out for Jose. Definitely hit him up on Yelp. I know people like to see those reviews. Let them know what up. Also, let people know about. I also did find some Ray-Bans. I forgot to tell him that. I hope the dude got his Ray-Bans back. You don't want to be losing those, dude. Anyway, dude, fired up on that call. Fired up on a thank call. Not fired up on this schmoll Lansford Hastings. Any dude that's got like a last name Lansford, what are you? What are you, a dictionary?
Yeah.
Get out of here, bro.
Yeah. Do your parents get paid by the letter?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Get out of here.
Exactly. What are you, like, what are you, a dude in a portrait, huh? What are you, an explorer? No, you're not. You're a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
So, who gives people circuitous routes. Can't be being circuitous. Anyway, dude, I'm fired up on this app. I'm fired up on the Keys Lounge at Toyota. Other than that, dude, I'm stoked. Stay stoked, and we'll freaking catch you guys on the next one, dude. Check out the special. And if you're into a holiday, if a holiday's your personality, it's not your fault. You're born that way. All right, dude, lit.